What is up everyone, Movie Worm back again with another video. Today is going to be the sequel to the A to Z of my collection. So last month I done a video where I picked a movie from behind me here in the collection for each letter of the alphabet that I thought was the best movie for that letter. Now today I'm going to do it in the same vein, but I'm going to go with personal favourites, ones that I can rewatch over and over and over again. For example, in that video, The Godfather 2 was the letter G, but today it's going to be something different because as much as I love The Godfather 2, I probably think it's the best film of all time. It's not one that I'm going to rewatch over and over and over again, if you get me. So, a few of my subscribers were saying they'd like to see this video, so there you have it. And there might be a few surprises in here too, guys. There might be one or two movies that are the same as the last video, but not many. Like I said, I think there'll be a few surprises. Also, guys, this was very, very hard to make. You know, I was looking at each letter going, which one would I pick now if I wanted to watch one? And there was just so many. Like, there was some really close calls here. If I remember what the other close call was, I will mention it. But let's just get into it. Now, I'm not going to start with the letter A, I'm going to start with a number, and this is going to be 28 Days Later. As you can see, this is the box set, but I'm going to go with the first movie. It's just a fun zombie flick, really. One that you can throw on and have a fun time with. Cillian Murphy, I love it when he wakes up in the middle of London and it's just deserted, like the world has ended, and it's really well visually shot there. I just have a fun time with this, probably in my top 10 zombie movies of all time, really. Just a really good, fun film. So that is 28 Days Later. Now we're getting into the alphabet now, guys. And this one was actually the same as my last video. But like I said, guys, there's only one or two. And that is out of this box set. And it is Aliens, the second one. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it. I can't fault it in any way. And I just have a lot of fun when I watch this movie. You know, I can watch it any time of the day. I just think it's full of great characters, great moments, just so many good scenes in that movie. Sigourney Weaver's fantastic, like I said, the cast is fantastic. It's just a really, really fun film from beginning to end, and you're watching it going, how does a movie get better than this? But it does, it just gets better as the movie goes on. It's just a great film, and one of my favourite movies, and the best movies I've ever seen. So Aliens is going to be for the letter A. Getting on to B now, guys. This is the Burbs from Joe Dante, I think. Starring Tom Hanks when he was doing more comedic roles. And this is just basically a movie where Tom Hanks is living next door to these new neighbours who've moved in, and he thinks that they're murderers, so he gets together with a few people from the neighbourhood and investigates the house when they go out and stuff. And it's just a really fun movie. Some really funny moments, just a fun time. And I first watched this with my uncle when I was young, and he was babysitting me and my sister when we were very young, and it's just stayed with me ever since, that movie. I just watch it all the time. Every time it's on TV, I'll just flick it on. No matter where it is in the movie, it could be halfway through, I'll watch the rest of it. I just have such a fun time with this film, it's great. Love Tom Hanks in these comedic roles. So that is the Burbs. Next up, we have Child's Play 2 for the letter C. It's one of my favourite slashes of all time, guys, to be honest. My favourite in the Child's Play franchise. It's a very short film. It's only about 80 minutes, but it's 80 minutes of Chucky just causing mayhem. So many great kills in this, so many great one-liners. And this movie just wants to have fun, and that's what you get. I've watched it so many times. It was the first Child's Play movie I ever watched. And I used to rent it from the video store all the time as a kid. Every week I'd just pick Child's Play 2. Glad to finally own it, and I can't wait to revisit these on the channel one day and review them all in detail. But this is the best one, I feel, and it's just a really, really good time. So next up we have Die Hard with a Vengeance. Spoke about this on the channel a few times, and I think Die Hard is probably the best out of the whole franchise, to be honest, but this is the one I go to. I just love Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis's chemistry in this, with the arguing back and forth, but they need each other. And there's just so many great, you know, moments with these two going around disarming bombs across New York. I think Simon Gruber is a great villain, to be honest, by Jeremy Irons. And yeah, it's just a fun movie, guys, it really is. like I said, just a great action film. You know, love this movie. Seen it so many times. Next up for E, it was either Escape from New York or this movie. But I went with this, and it is Enter the Dragon, a fantastic martial arts film which all takes place on this sinister island with all these weird goings on. The guy who runs the tournament, it's kind of like the Mortal Kombat movie a little bit, sort of, but you know, with no mortals obviously in there. And I just think it's just a fun film, to be honest. I love the story, but there's loads of great martial art moments as well. And one of Bruce Lee's best movies, if not his best. So, yeah, Enter the Dragon. Good movie, that, guys. Next up is Face. Oh, yes. This is a fantastic action movie from start to finish. I love the concept where they have to swap faces. And John Travolta and Nicolas Cage both play a good and a bad guy in this. John Woo, who was a brilliant action movie director in the 90s, especially made this. And it's just a fun film, honestly. I could throw this on all the time. I used to watch it as a kid on VHS countless times. It was one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought because I knew I needed it in my collection. So I really love the opening scene to this as well, where, you know, John Travolta's trying to play chicken with the jet and then gets in a helicopter to try and stop the jet taking off. It's great. It's just really good to watch. I love this movie. So now, instead of The Godfather 2, guys, this is what I went with. And it is a gangster movie, actually. And that is Gangster No. 1. This is a British gangster movie starring Paul Bettany and Malcolm McDowell. Basically, it just shows you him when he's older and when he's younger. And when he's this upcoming gangster working for this other guy called Freddie Mays. And if you haven't seen this movie, guys, I feel it's very underrated. There's a kill in this movie that you see from the victim's point of view, where he's getting tortured and stuff, and it's kind of hard to watch the first time, but this has just got so many great quotes and stuff. It's kind of funny at times as well. The Paul Bettany character in this is just such a weird character, but you can't stop looking at his mannerisms and stuff. It's just a great movie. Really, really evil guy is in this film. Definitely watch it, guys, if you haven't seen that. It's just a fun film. I watch it countless times. Next up for H, we have Halloween. Now, I watch this nearly every October, to be honest. That's probably my main pick for this, but it's still a great slasher film. You know, one of the best horror movies of all time. Michael Myers was born in this, and, you know, John Carpenter didn't have much of a budget to do this, but he's just captured everything brilliantly here with the, you know, the score and the creepy vibe this movie holds. Michael Myers is such a great villain. I just have a fun time with this film. It's really, really well done slasher. So, most of you seen Halloween, guys, but if you haven't, definitely watch it. Next up is another horror movie, by the way, and that is It. I know this is on for 3 hours, but I still used to watch this countless times when I was a kid, and I watched it again not long ago, and I still love it. You know, I do prefer it to the remake or the reimagining, if you like. I just love Tim Curry as Pennywise. And you haven't seen it, it's about a bunch of kids who are getting terrorised by this clown in this little village sort of thing, Derry. It's like a little town, sorry, not a village. And then the other half of the movie is when they're older and the clown comes back. But it's like a shape-shifting clown. He just takes that, you know, that clown appearance to scare them and stuff. But it's a really good film. Really good film. Some of the effects are a little bit dated, but I don't care about that because I've seen it so many times. I know what to expect. But I just really, really love this film. So, next up for Jay, we have Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I haven't seen the reboot yet, to be honest. I don't know why, but I have so much fun with this film. One of my favourite comedies. Just think it's just a good little road trip adventure for half the movie, to be honest. Well, actually, most of the movie. But basically, they a comic book has been made about them, and it's getting turned into a film. But they're not going to receive any money from it, so they go down to Hollywood to track down, you know, their check that they are deservedly owed. And it's just a really funny film. It's stupid, you know, pathetic at times, to be honest, but I have a good time with this, you know. So if you haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob and you like your comedies, guys, definitely give this one a go. Next up for K, I've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was just looking at them going, that's the one I'd go for. I've just got to think, like, if you see with it, I've just got a thing for movies with killer clowns, and I don't know why, I just have. They just fascinate me, to be honest. This is a fun film, you know, just, it's ridiculous, like what it says on the tin, killer clowns from outer space. You know, they wrap people up in cotton candy when they kidnap them and stuff to eat them later. Or I just really do have a fun time with this. It's a brilliant B movie that is almost going to the A-class movie because it's so well done, but it's got B movie all over it. So I just really, really do enjoy this movie. You just got to go into it and not think anything serious, to be honest. Next up, no surprise to most people, The Lost Boys. I actually watched this last night. We were talking about vampire movies on Twitter, and someone said, I'm watching it now, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to. So I threw it on and watched half of it. I did fall asleep, but I just love this film. It really has got the 80s vibe all over it. Directed by the late Joel Schumacher, of course. Kiefer Sutherland is amazing in this as David, but so is Jason Patric as well, and you know, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Great cast, great soundtrack. Love that song, I Still Believe. Just have a fun time with this. I can watch this. I have watched it so many times, you know. It was one of the first horror movies I really was allowed to watch because it's not that bad in content. It's a bit of a horror comedy, to be honest, but I've just loved it all these years. And it, again, like Face Off, it's one of the first Blu-rays I ever owned. So yeah, The Lost Boys, guys, for letter L. Next up is Menace to Society. I think this is actually on Netflix right now here in the UK. And this is like a very, very gripping gangster drama movie that's set in the hood in Los Angeles in the early 90s. And it's just so well made, but just has that rewatchability factor for some reason. You know, it's just full of great characters and really strong scenes as well. But it's a fun movie to watch with all the dialogue and stuff. I'd definitely recommend this, guys. If you haven't seen it, just watch it on Netflix. Honestly, it's brilliant. Next up, we have a movie out of this box set, and it's A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. But I was looking at my movies for the letter N, and the next movie I'd probably watch is probably A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, actually, out of this. But it's always 3 that is my go-to Freddy movie. I just think it's borderline perfect with the comedy and the horror. Freddy's quite scary in this, but he's also got some funny quotes. After this, it started going way more comedic. But I just love A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. It's full of great characters. It's a great concept in the mental hospital and stuff. So many great kills. And like I said, Freddy is fantastic in this. So I just love A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, guys. But I love nearly all of these movies, even the bad ones, to be honest. Freddy's Dead's a bit... But yeah, these are my go-to horror movies and definitely go-to movies for the letter N. So, but Part 3 is the one. Next up for O, we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't checked this out on 4K yet, but I really can't wait to go back and revisit this. I love this movie on the cinema. It was just a great ending, great characters, shot amazingly. It looks fantastic. Tarantino's really captured the colour of Hollywood here. It just, everything about it I loved. I don't know why people were bored with this movie. I just don't get that, but there's quite a bit of talking, but that's what Tarantino does best. His dialogue is amazing. And the fight Brad Pitt has with Bruce Lee is unforgettable. So I just love this. Mid-tier Tarantino movie for me. I don't think it's anywhere near his worst. I'd just put it about halfway out of his 9 or 10 movies he's made. So can't wait to revisit this, and I'll definitely be doing a Tarantino series one day on this channel, guys. And next up, surprise, surprise, is another Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction. Out of every movie on this list, guys, this is the only one that I watched for the first time and then rewatched it straight after. I watched it twice, back to back, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing, how good this movie was. You know, near the end where it's all kicking off in the cafe, but it actually happens at the start, and then it happens at the end, and then Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in there. I was just like, oh, what's going to happen here? But I didn't expect the Gimp scene either. That just came out of nowhere when I first watched this. But it's just a brilliant film. I love the way these three stories just come together. Brilliant, brilliant screenplay. one of the best movies ever made, and this was actually for my letter P on my other video. So, yeah. Pulp Fiction, one of the best movies ever made. Simple as. Now for Q, I have only got 2 movies with the letter Q, but when I made the last video, I only had 1. So I have to go with Quantum of Solace, but I do own this now, and I'm definitely going to go to this before Quantum of Solace. That is A Quiet Place. I have only actually seen it the once, but if I was going to pick out of them 2, I would go with this. And I'm definitely going to, you know, watch this when the second one comes out and do a horror revisited episode on the channel. But I just think Emily Blunt's brilliant in this. Such a strong opening scene as well. You know, quite shocking actually. And it's a great concept for a movie. Kind of like Bird Box, but, you know, you can't make a noise instead of looking. Yeah, a really good concept for a horror movie. Can't wait to watch this again. Now, if you've been any part of this channel, you will know what the letter R is going to be, because it's my favourite movie of all time. One that I have watched more than anything, any other movie ever. And I could watch this right now. That is Robocop. I don't know, I never know where to start when I talk about this movie. It's just got everything. It really has. It's just got great villains, a great protagonist in Robocop. You know, it just got loads of satire in there, loads of comedic dialogue. It's violent, you know. A lot of people, if they don't know, probably just think this is like a stupid action movie, but it's really one of the violentest movies I've ever seen. It's just got everything. It really has. I'm never really bored when I watch this. You know, it's just got that rewatchability factor. Clarence Boddicker, what a man. You can't see Robocop, guys, definitely, please do. Next up, for the letter S, is a movie called Speed. Probably my second most watched movie of all time, to be honest, just behind Robocop. I watched this movie so much as a kid. I just love Keanu Reeves in this. It's his best role, I feel. With the bomb on a bus, and if it slows down below 50 miles an hour, it will blow. So he's got to keep it going. And it's just a very fast-paced movie all the way through. Dennis Hopper is a brilliant bad guy in this. It's just, you know, it's not just all on the bus either. You know, you got the elevator scene at the start and the train scene to finish, and the bus scene is just in the middle there. It's just a brilliant film, it really is. One of the best action movies of all time. I love it. Keanu Reeves is a cool-ass motherfucker in this. So, next up, for T. Yes, this is the same as my letter T for the last video. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Yeah, look, Speed, Robocop and Terminator 2 are my 3 most watched movies of all time. It's just brilliant, it really is. Like Robocop, I never know what to start with this. James Cameron just nailed this sequel. You know, took everything from the first one, turned it on its head a little bit, because the first one's like a horror movie, I feel, and this is just a big explosive action movie. I love everything about it. It's perfect, I feel. Apart from, you know, the storyline with the future and the past being a bit messed up, as a movie, this is just perfect to me. It really is. I can watch it anytime. So I went through a phase actually once when I moved into an apartment about 10 years ago, and I just went through that was when I first lived on my own. I just went through a phase that week of watching this every night. It was weird. So yeah, I just love Terminator 2, guys. So next up we have Unbreakable. Very, very clever movie. Didn't like this when I first seen it, to be honest. I was expecting like a comic book action movie because I was a kid back then. But M. Night Shyamalan really did surprise me with this. And I thought it was brilliant. Really well done. Well, he surprised me, you know, the second time I watched it all them years later. I just think it's a brilliant comic book movie. And I wish there'd be more like this, you know. Because we just know what to expect now from all these Marvel movies and stuff, don't we? But this is a really clever, aimed towards adults movie. It's just, honestly, he's the only guy, it's a train crash and he's the only survivor. But he learns throughout his life that he just can't really be hurt. It's weird. But you have to watch it, guys. It's really such a clever film. It really is. Great twist ending and everything. Now for V, this was kind of hard. I only own about 4 movies on V, with the letter V, but if I was going to pick any, I'd go with this one, and that is Vacancy, about these 2 characters here who stay in a hotel and they find a load of snuff movies made there in that hotel room and they realise that they're going to be next. Yeah, it is a good horror movie, quite a clever one, and it's just got that rewatchability factor. I've seen it a couple of times, but if I was going to pick another movie from the letter V, I would go with this. It's a clever horror film. Nothing fantastic, but it's rewatchable. This is one of my favourite comedy movies of all time, and that is Wedding Crashers. I just love the chemistry Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn have in this. It's just hilarious. And when they go to Rachel McAdams' family's house on this island, they're just the craziest, them two. It's just a really fun film. One of Bradley Cooper's first movies, I think. He's in this. He's a total arsehole. But just a really, really good comedy film. I highly enjoy this. I can watch it right now. It's so funny. So next up we have Triple X. Now I was gonna go for either this or one of the X-Men movies, but I've seen this a lot of times as a kid, and it's just a fun action movie. It's a bit cringy at times with Vin Diesel and stuff, but if I'm gonna go to one of the movies for the letter X in my collection, I'm probably gonna go to this. It spawned 2 sequels, which I haven't seen actually, but I do own them. But I went to cinema to see this, bought it on DVD, watched it loads on DVD years ago. So yeah, Triple X is for the letter X, if you like. Next up is a movie I only recently purchased, and that is You're Next. A very, very well done modern horror movie, home invasion film. Really, really violent, some great kills. But yeah, just a good horror movie, really. Not much to say on it, but I would definitely watch this again. I've only seen it once, but out of all the movies I've got in this collection, that was the one I would have went to. So I would definitely watch this again. Probably do a horror revisited episode on it. And finally, guys, for the letter Z, in the last one I picked Zombie Flesh Eaters. This is a zombie movie, but I'm probably going to go to this one, and that is Zombieland. I just have so much fun with this. Woody Harrelson is such a great character. But all 4 characters on this have so much chemistry. Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, etc. And Abigail Breslin, sorry I forgot her name. But all 4 of them just have great chemistry on screen together. But Woody Harrelson makes this movie. But it's just good, you know. I love the way Jesse Eisenberg's terrified of clowns, and then he has to face a zombie clown later on in the movie where it all takes place in a fun fair and stuff. Just got that fun factor. So Zombieland is for the letter Z. And that is it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. There was some very close calls. Like for L, I picked The Lost Boys, and it was either that or Last Action Hero, but I had to go with The Lost Boys. So, okay, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to comment about any of these films, please do. I will reply to every single one of you. You know, if you want to like it, it's up to you. If you want to subscribe, it's up to yourself. Take it all easy, guys. And I'll see you all in the next video.